it's a matter of who we are and how we are, and you're you and you're unique and you bring different things to the table. And I think when I hear you say that, how not good of a world it would be if you don't do what you do because you're you.
Welcome to the Midlife Business Academy. I'm Lori Lyons, marketing strategist, business coach, and accidental techie. After years of running a successful website design agency, I'm now building the business of my dreams and helping other midlife entrepreneurs do the same. From strategy to marketing to mindset, we covered what really matters when you're growing a business that fits your life. Let's get started. If your marketing feels off, your offers aren't converting, and you're starting to wonder if you're the problem, stop right there. It's not you, it's your strategy. Midlife business owners need a different approach, one that's clear, focused, sustainable, and simple. Let's find yours. Book a free Profitable Path Discovery call, and we'll walk through where you are, what's next, and whether we're a fit to work together. Go to talkwithlori.com to book your time.
Hi there, and welcome to the Midlife Business Academy. And I'm Lori Lyons, your host. And I am so excited today because I've been wanting to do this for a long, long time. And I want to introduce my first my first guest, Cyrus Bush. Welcome to Hot Seat Coaching, Cyrus.
I was feeling a little bit anxious until you said that. Now I'm way anxious. No, not really. Hi, Lori. I'm so happy to be here on your maiden voyage.
I know. I'm excited that you signed up, and we're going to have so much fun. And in full transparency, Cyrus and I have known each other for years, so he's a perfect person.
I had a full head of hair. When, not really.
Now that you haven't had. So, but yeah, mine was blonde, I think. Yeah. Could be. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump in. We're gonna give some laser quick coaching, and I'm excited to begin. So, Cyrus, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I am a retired hospital chaplain, but currently I work with individuals on mindset issues, using emotional freedom techniques as my basic tool to help them let go of limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, and negative self-talk so that they can experience more success and joy in their lives and their relationships. And I also teach workshops teaching people how to use EFT personally and with clients and family. In a nutshell, that's what I do.
So tell me what EFT is. For the audience who doesn't know, tell me what that is.
Yeah, emotional freedom techniques. It's a technique for stress management that was discovered by a clinical psychologist in the early 80s. And it is a technique where you tap acupressure points. It's like acupuncture, but you don't use needles. It's paired with psychology. And so you can use it to get major shifts around a lot of things, like if you are carrying trauma around in your body. It's helpful. It's useful for dealing with trauma from past events, PTSD, fear of public speaking. It's hard to explain, but when you experience it, it's almost like magic because of the fact that you are accessing and giving information to the amygdala, the fight or flight center. I discovered it while I was a hospital chaplain. And so I used EFT with my patients who were afraid to have tests, who were afraid to go home to difficult situations, and now currently with clients.
Very good. So is it fair to say that it's science-based?
It is science-based. Yeah, there's a slew of research that is going on currently. And Peter Stapleton in Australia at Bond University is just at the forefront of doing research around EFT.
That's awesome. And yeah, if you search for it, if you search on videos and stuff on YouTube, not only will we find you, but we'll find a host of others for other different challenges that you might have. And it's amazing what it can do.
It's true. It's so true.
Yes. So what would you say, how long have you been in business now?
I started in 2018 after I retired from hospital chaplaincy. I started this in 2018.
Okay. So over the years, what do you find has been your biggest challenges, and have those changed in the last few years?
The biggest challenge, one of the biggest is to become an entrepreneur after having worked for others in the Army, other businesses, and then all of a sudden you're wearing all these different hats, caps that you might not be ready or equipped to wear. So that's been one of the biggest, finding clients, letting people know, help discover that I'm here in the world and how I can help.
Perfect. So online presence, have you been doing a lot online?
I have a presence on LinkedIn, Instagram, business and personal, Facebook, business and personal, and YouTube. So those.
Okay, perfect. And in a nutshell, what have you been doing on those primarily?
Well, I do posts. Sometimes I'll do a post tapping or having a stressful day, and I'll just lead a tapping video.
Yeah.
I'll do promotional videos about an upcoming workshop. I'll post videos of flowing water and to say, pause, breathe, savor this day. I do things just to remind people to take care of themselves.
Okay, perfect. Where do you see your business in, let's say, 6 months?
Well, I don't see it very clearly because it feels like I'm at a crossroads, and maybe this is a good thing. It is a good thing that we're talking, because I'm trying to figure out how much I want to invest, how much time I want, how much energy I want to invest in this. I do want to keep going, and I think ideally I would have see clients 2, possibly 3 days a week, and possibly continue doing EFT workshops. I'm open to that possibility. I've done it for 5 years now. It's a lot of work to prepare for it. So rewarding, but a lot of work.
Right. And having just taken one of your workshops, absolutely, it's amazing. So great job there. So, and where you are at a crossroads, I hear a lot of business owners, especially for those of us in midlife, talking about that because they don't necessarily want to spend, that bro marketing hustle mentality because they have other stuff that they want to do. So what are some of the other things in your life that are kind of pulling you a little bit with your business?
Toward the business or away from the business?
Like that's causing you to struggle with how much do I want to put in? What are some other things in your life that you want to do?
Well, I want to have the freedom to travel more. I want the budget to travel more. Spend time with my partner who has just retired from 30 years of teaching. That's cool. Yeah. Those are the two main things. And the pull of not wanting to punch the clock, getting up and going to the office by 9 and working to 5. I don't really enjoy that kind of pressure at this point.
Sure. If you close your eyes and you think about what your business could look like in 6 months, along with the travel and the other things that you want to do, how much time do you see yourself putting into your business? Give me a rough idea of what that would look like. I love that you're closing your eyes and thinking about it.
Well, you said to. I follow rules. I feel really vulnerable. Not really. I'm thinking the number 18 comes to mind. 15 to 18 hours a week.
Okay. So that's either like 3.5 hours a day, or it's 2 full days plus a little bit, which that's a nice business. And with some planning and some strategy, you could grow a nice business that will give you your travel time and your travel budget that you want. So let's talk a little bit about the online presence then. You said you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, and you're on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
What are some things that you're doing with those? You said you're doing some rushing water, you're doing some tapping. Do you have a plan for what you're doing, or you just kind of depends on what you feel like for the day?
I don't really have a plan. I've talked with people who specialize in that and say you should have content, sell, content, sell, that type of thing, so that you're not always selling what you do. And also, a friend who does YouTube videos, if you do videos, then offer a chance for people to subscribe. And sometimes tapping video won't really touch what you need. And so pointing out to people, I'm offering this, but be aware that you might really need to work with a professional, someone who knows how to take this deeper. So I do that. Honestly, I've not done very many YouTube videos lately because of paranoia, I think. I compare myself with other people who seem to be doing it better.
Yeah. All right, so let's take that little path. Let's go down that rabbit hole. Talk to me a little bit about comparanoia. What does that mean to you? What is that feeling like inside?
Well, it's the way it shows up for me is a little voice that says, you're not as good as him. You're not as good as her. Why even try? You can't look like that. You don't have the time. You don't have the resources they've got. So it's a little nagging voice telling me I'm not as good as.
Yeah.
And I understand this is common for people, and I understand how to work on that personally, but getting around to doing it, I don't always get around to doing it for myself.
Well, isn't it amazing too that sometimes it's the hardest thing to do it for ourselves?
Yeah, totally agree.
That's why doctors don't doctor themselves, So it's totally normal and totally, And I think every business owner at some point goes through that.
Yeah.
Even the Tony Robbins of the world probably go through that at some point, it did.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit. When you talk about your comparisonitis and you're not good enough, you're not as good as so-and-so, then where does that feel inside? How is it showing up?
When I feel it intensely, if I'm in the middle of comparing with, I love Gene Montrastelli. He is the icon in the world of emotional freedom techniques. In fact, I have worked with him, think the world of him. And so I compare myself to him sometimes, and I think I can't do it like that. But then I don't want to do it like that.
Right, because you're you. Yeah.
But your question was, how does it show up? It's sort of a feeling, gut feeling of not defeat, but why try? Mm-hmm. And do I want something that would consume so much energy and so much of my life? Mm-hmm. I love helping people, Lori. I love helping people detach from limiting beliefs, from past hurts, and just experience a new lease on life, coming to the place of looking in the mirror and saying, I like you, I love you. I love what I'm able to help people accomplish when we do work together. And so I'm just going around the issue here. I realize that.
And when years ago, when I was student teaching, and my very first day of student teaching, the best advice I ever got was my teacher pulled me aside. I'm 22 years old. I'm walking into a high school class, and I'm hardly older than they are. And I'm like, petrified. And she said, always remember, you know more than they do. And that served me well a lot of times in my life when I think, when I feel like, because I certainly get it. There's marketing people on every corner. We bump into each other constantly. So it's a matter of who we are and how we are. And you're you, and you're unique, and you bring different things to the table. Yeah. And I think when I hear you say that, how not good of a world it would be if you don't do what you do, because you're you. So So let's get into some practical things. Talking about your challenges and how you feel. Then we'll talk about some of that when we talk about some of these strategies. How does that resonate with you? How is that feeling with you? Are comfortable with that? Because I'm gonna push you a little bit. So, having gone back and looked at some of your most recent social media, and we've talked about this a little bit before in some of our other coaching sessions, is when people find you and they see you, because you're getting views, you're getting things on your YouTube, you're getting views and comments on social, which is really, social media now, Facebook and Instagram, it's not like it used to be where you're gonna expect 100,000 people liking and commenting. People are scrolling by more, but you are getting noticed. But what I'm not seeing is how do I work with you? What is the next step for you? Mm-hmm. And you talk about selling, content, sell, there's a difference between a call to action of here's how you work with me and buy my stuff. So you can easily put in a next step call to action, to work with me, go to cyrusbush.com, or I'm going to suggest, and we can look this up offline, to see if you have something, if we could get a domain for you about, work with Cyrus or coach with Cyrus or something like that, that you could make it very simple on the end of all of your videos, all of everything that you do. Hey, I work privately with people. If you'd like more information, go to Coach with Cyrus or whatever we do with that. So that's a suggestion for you, is just make a conscious effort and know that if you're not giving them a next step, there's no way for them to work with you unless they go find you and really spend some time doing that. And we want to make it very easy for people to find us and easy for people to work with us. So that's one of the recommendations. The other thing that I saw, and you said it yourself, you do some here, you'll do some here, you're not real consistent, is consistency is key when you're working online and when you're working on a brand. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge. And I know you're probably going to go, oh, a gulp challenge is to plan for, depending on your travel schedule, maybe 30 days, do something every day on social media. And you can do it once and repurpose to all of those platforms. And we can talk about some ways to do that. But I think if you really put some consistency, and I'm not talking about something that's going to be 5 or 10 minutes of a video, but if you do something every day, then that will start building that algorithm, because that's what's happening is Facebook and Instagram and even LinkedIn need to see some consistency to say, hey, they are, Cyrus is working his business here. Let's give him some visibility, and let's give him some, let's give him some props for doing that. And I think that will help you as well. How was the initial feeling about that?
It was not bad.
Good.
I think big question marks about what it would need to look like and how much time it would take to create it. And I like the idea of using it again and all the different platforms. But I don't think I knew they were paying attention to giving props for people that were working their business. I don't know that I was aware of that.
Yeah, it's one of the things that they look at, that if you're being consistent, then they're going to reward that consistency. And there is a way that you can do that, because I'm not saying go live every day. You can actually take your 18 hours that you want to work and bulk record some, and you can schedule them to go up. And throw in some lives every now and then, because they do like live. They do like for you coming on and doing live, doing the stuff live. But if you were to bulk record some, 30, you could easily do those over a couple of days. Change your shirts, make it look like it's every day, and then bulk record them. And I'm going to even take it another step further for you. You could actually theme those, so that you could have a mindset Monday, a tap on it Tuesday. What are some other things you could do? You could do a wonderful Wednesday. That's a little bit of a, something that everybody does, but, feel good Thursday. I mean, you can theme these so it gives you a structure for planning. So you're not just throwing stuff out there, and give you kind of a, you could kind of take them as a progression. So if you're starting at the beginning, you could actually start with some ways to use EFT, do a little bit of a teaching that you can reuse those videos later, so that they're not totally lost in the, in the social media world. So that's a suggestion that I would give for you that will allow you to be consistent by planning it out. The other benefit of planning that is you can plan what your call to action will be. You can plan to say, schedule a call with me, or schedule, my workshops coming up where you can start talking about your workshop. You can talk about, did you know that I work privately with clients? You can schedule some sessions with me. If you have something specific we can talk about. So by talking about those in a way that is not buy my stuff, because I know you, and I know that's not something you would be horribly comfortable with. So, but if you talk about it in a way that's genuine and that's you, I think you could do that very easily and feel good about it. Because we can talk about helping all the people that we want, but unless people know that we're out there to be of service to help, we're not really helping. So I would suggest those two big things for you is to really focus on a call to action and some consistency for 30 days. And then once you do that and you start building that little bit of a base, it's kind of like, I don't know if you're a skier, I'm certainly not, but when you look at ski slopes, they have a good base underneath them, and then anything they add on top of it can add to that base. So if you build a good base, then you can start working on that.
Okay.
How is that feeling?
It sounds great. Well, and Lori, I told you about this book that I read. I can't think of it right now, and it talks about personality types, the personality patterns. And I'm a person that is an obliger, so setting a goal for myself is not so important. It doesn't seem I can't get around to doing that for myself quite as well as I can meet somebody else's expectations. So that's why I love in the past you've given me assignments, and so know that
So the
so
assignment
maybe give this as an
all right, so we're going to do that. So the assignment that I'm going to give you with this is to, very simple, jot down some ideas for 30 days, and you can do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And if you think about it in terms of themes, what are 5 or 6 overall themes that I can talk about? Because here's the other cool thing that we don't think about. We think we always have to be all this different content. Oh my gosh, it's, I'm going on YouTube. I talked about that 3 years ago. Now, what am I going to talk about today? Because I've already talked about that. People will hear you 7 or 8 times after you say something. So just because you said something last week or 2 weeks ago or a month ago, you can still say it again. And you can, because it's going to hit somebody differently. So if you were to talk about tapping for or anxiety, because I know you do a lot of work with anxiety. So if you tapped on anxiety last week, and if you tap on or do something on anxiety this week, even though you've already done it, it's going to land differently to somebody because they're in a different space today than they were last week. So repeating content is okay. You don't have to come up with 30 different days.
That's a relief because that honestly is one of the things that I get stuck on when I sit down to think about doing video for my YouTube channel. And I think, well, Brad Yates has done that. Julie Schiffman has done that. Mary Ayers has already.
I've got to be right. Right. And you're very different. I mean, I've listened to, in fact, after our class, one of the things that we did in our class was we worked with each other. And one of the women was like, we were tapping on not wanting to go to the gym. I'm like, oh, that's a really good one. So I went online and I YouTubed, and Brad Yates came up about not wanting to go to the gym. So I was tapping last week on not wanting to go to the gym. So, you never know what's going to come up for somebody.
True.
You never know how it's going to hit somebody differently. And, if you did a video on not wanting to not wanting to go to the gym, I would look, because it's a different point of view and a different way of working.
Yeah. Great. Well, and can I say another thing? The type of tapping I do is it's not jumping to a quick solution so quickly, because I learned and I practice and I teach that you need to stay with the negative a little bit longer so that you're getting the gunk and the junk out of the wound that's causing the problem in the first place. So I tell myself that people don't like listening to that, even though I know there's great benefit from doing it this way.
Right,
So,
right. Well, here's what I would suggest for you on that. Do a couple of different ones. Do one where you don't spend quite so much time going into the negative, and do one where you really go into the negative and see which one is getting you better results. Because part of the solution, part of the thing with social media is you're not going to have time to fix people.
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yes, what you want to do is let them be aware that you're there to help them solve their problem.
Yeah.
So if they resonate with you and how you're doing that, whether it's 2 minutes of negative or 1 minute of negative, they're going to resonate with how you're walking through that.
Yeah.
Especially if they're into tapping.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I would do is I would spend a little bit of time talking about, and we kind of laugh because we're of that generation with Donnie Marie, and I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll. We did some, I'm a little bit woo, and I'm a little bit, I can't remember what we said. Science. What did we say? I don't remember what we said. Yeah. Yeah. So if you spend some time talking about that, because I think the general feeling out there is that EFT is woo.
Right.
But it's really based on science.
It is. Absolutely.
So you can bring both of those worlds together by talking about how it does energetically for you, but how it works scientifically. Those would be some pretty cool videos.
Yeah.
Pretty cool explanations.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And that gives you a lot of content too.
Yeah, and there are lots of research coming out these days, fresh research on how EFT impacts a variety of things. And so,
oh, absolutely, absolutely. When you're talking, because you said it earlier, the amygdala, how it's affecting. There's so many case studies and so much things being done on that. How the brain works and how the brain comes in on all of this.
Yeah.
You've got a lot. You could do 30 days just on that.
Yeah, probably so.
Somebody told me one time, I heard this quote, and I don't remember where I heard it, is when we start getting tired of our marketing or our message, people are just starting to pay attention.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So think about, working with clients, how many touch points it takes to get a client now. Sometimes it takes, they're saying like 15 to 20 touch points, where it used to be 7 or 8.
Uh-huh.
So just think about how much is around us and how many things we are looking at around us and what we have to do to get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
And saying the same thing differently several times will grab somebody, because something that you say is going to hit them at the right time, at the right place.
Yeah.
So does that help you?
Sort of. And as you're talking, my brain's thinking, do I need to show up more on YouTube, or do I need to show up more on Facebook, or do I need to show up more on, I'm curious.
Here's the beauty, Cyrus. Show up on all of them. Because if you're doing those videos, you can upload them to every single one. You don't have to do one for each different platform. Take the same video and put them out there on all of them, including LinkedIn. Because there is no reason to do different. And we can talk about a couple of different ways to do that, what your platform can look like. And I have a link, something I can send you that I've started using that's really good.
Okay.
So don't feel like, when I say 30 days of content, that means 30 times Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, 30 times 4, that's 120 videos. No, I'm talking about 30 videos going different ways, different places.
I just feel differently. For some reason, I feel differently about LinkedIn, because I don't see people doing videos very much on LinkedIn. And I wonder, am I off base by doing that? And also personal Facebook and business Facebook. Do I do both Facebooks with my students? Okay.
Yeah, because you have different people on both of them. And I would say for LinkedIn, even though it's a business platform, think of all the anxiety business people are going through right now.
Yeah.
Think of all the things that you talk about and you can even put that in your post in the content. Say, I did this over on, for a YouTube video talking about anxiety, and I think business people need this more than ever today. Or whatever you're talking about, business people need this because this is a really good business tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
it's a good for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm all for putting it on LinkedIn, and you're not seeing a lot of EFT on LinkedIn.
True.
Yeah. So that could really make you stand out. And the last point I'm going to make to you before we wrap up is really spend some time when you're doing these and thinking about the keywords, because you want to make sure that you're putting keywords into your YouTube videos so that people can search for them. So if I'm searching for EFT anxiety or anxiety, you have a better chance of coming up. And I don't know how much you're optimizing your YouTube videos. And if you're going to put 30 days of content, we want to be sure to do that. Okay. And that you can Google that, how to do that when you post it. Now I've got the lost look. I'm seeing the lost look.
No, well, that's true. I'm thinking about it now to find the keywords and where do they show up? In the explanation of the video or in the body of the video?
Yeah, in the studio, it will have a place for you to write keywords for your video. So it's actually pretty simple to find. And we can spend some time if you want to, one of our calls, we can do that. But our own show will. So, yeah. All right, so questions for me. Let's wrap this up and kind of, how are you feeling now besides overwhelmed and,
Well, I'm just overwhelmed now. I'm energized. I like the idea of being consistency and the 30-day plan and doing the call to action. I think that's great advice. And so I'm going to start going in that direction. And then I'll try to figure out what the keywords and how best to do that. Yeah. And I'm also going to tap on my reluctance and my resistance to doing that and all these voices that are telling me otherwise. So
the voices are saying you're not good enough to do that when you are.
Yeah.
Because you are. So and I've got somewhere in my stuff I'll send you. I've got a spreadsheet that will help you, that will lay that content out and give you a place that you can put the keywords. Okay. So if you're tapping around anxiety, your keyword is anxiety. It's it's not rocket science to pull out what you want those to be about. The rocket science is just remembering to do it. That makes sense?
It does, I think. Sometimes, I judge myself for not getting things clear and then letting it slide. And then afterwards, I think, why didn't you ask? Okay, so I've done a video that I'm going to put on YouTube, anywhere else. And so in the description of the video where he explains what it is, at the very title, the way you title it, or in the so there's two things. The title you give it, also in the description of it, which is the place where you put the keyword.
Correct. Both places. If you can put that keyword in the title and use ChatGPT for it. Once you've recorded your video, you can upload the transcript or you can upload the video sometime or the audio to it and say, ChatGPT, pull out the keywords for this and give me an SEO YouTube title that will grab attention.
Love it. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think right now it's mainly you transcribe it, but you can do that on Word. You can get a transcription of your video. Put your words in and have ChatGPT pull. That's a really great way to use it. So give me five click-worthy titles for my YouTube video that will grab attention using my keywords.
Click-worthy titles using my keywords. Got it. We're not recording this, sadly, so I don't get a transcript.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Good. I was going to see if I need to be calling you.
You'll get this.
Lori, this is so helpful. I'm grateful for your inviting me to be on your show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being my first one, and we'll be doing some follow-up on this. And I want to thank you for joining us on the Midlife Business Academy in our very first hot seat coaching call. If you would like to be a future guinea pig guest, then feel free to go to mycoachlori.com and you can schedule your hot seat coaching. I will see you next time, and thank you so much. And don't forget to review and subscribe to the Midlife Business Academy podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining me on the Midlife Business Academy. If today's episode made you think, or made you feel, seen, share it with a fellow business owner who could use it too. When you're ready for more support, you'll find the link to book your Profitable Path Blueprint call in the show notes. I'll be back next week with more insight and strategy to help you build a business that truly fits your life and one of your dreams. We'll see you next time on the Midlife Business Academy.